Hey guys, I'm getting in a easy 7-mile morning run today. It's about 2 weeks to the Boston Marathon, and disaster has struck. Easter candy is still only 30% off. Usually after the holidays, Target will drop their candy to 70% off, but you just gotta wait long enough. But I need people to stop buying it so that there's some left when it's 70% off. If we all hold together, we can all get a better deal. I run by here every day to check the status. The reason I'm doing a morning run today is not for any specific training reasons. I'm just volunteering after work, so I want to have my afternoon free, so I'm running in the morning. And I'm not volunteering because I'm a good person. I just need service hours for my scholarship, so don't get that confused. But anyways, I took a little detour. I think this is where I'm going to be volunteering. I think. I'm honestly not sure, but this is a general area, so hopefully I can find it after work. Alright, so I'm now getting on the Ohlone Greenway Trail. This is one of the places I've been wanting to show you guys that's good for running. It's long, it's flat. If you go too far, you kind of get into some more sketchier neighborhoods, but for the most part it's good. I like running here when I just want to zone out, not pay attention to where I'm going, so that's where I'm going today. Oh, also, you guys probably want to know what the disaster is. I'll get to that. So the disaster that struck is last week Jay visited me. That's not the disaster. We had a grand old time. During his visit, he convinced me to wrestle him. And in that wrestling, he bested me quite well. So much so to the point that he probably cracked one of my ribs. Oh. That hurts, sorry. Okay. Oh, shoulder to the ribs. So, not the best time to crack a rib. And now it just hurts to move and do anything. But, it's not the end of the world. I think it's gonna be okay. But, that's what happened.
Last night I had the strangest dream. I sailed away to China in a little rowboat to find you, and you said you had to get your...
Alrighty, this is a cool spot. They have like workout equipment on the trail. We're right under the BART right now, so pretty cool, pretty cool. So I looked up some stuff about broken or cracked ribs, and I'm fairly certain mine's at least cracked. I don't think it's broken, but it's probably cracked. It said it usually takes 3 to 6 weeks to heal. I have 2 weeks till the marathon, but since I'm a 21-year-old male who's invincible, I'm sure it'll heal faster. But no, really, I think it's gonna be okay because in 2 weeks it should mostly heal, I guess. And also when I've been running, it doesn't hurt too bad because I think all the endorphins help to kind of like wash away the pain. And then during the race, I'll have 2 weeks of healing, endorphins from running, and adrenaline from it being a race. So, oh boy, here comes the train. Anyways, I think I'll be doped up on natural drugs enough that it won't be a problem. This whole situation kind of segues into something I wanted to talk to you guys about anyway, which is how I feel about marathons, just in general, as a runner. So, I'm at my turnaround point right now. I'm going to finish my run and then talk to you guys about that when I get back home.
Didn't want no one to hold you. What does that mean? And you said, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
Alright, so here's how I feel about marathons. I hate them. That's it.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride.
No, I'm kidding. But I'm not kidding. I do hate marathons, and here's why. Reason number one, when you do a marathon, you only get to do one race. Usually in a track or cross-country season, when you're racing like 5Ks or 8Ks or whatever you're racing on the track, you can race like every week or every other week. Sometimes you have good weeks, sometimes you have bad weeks, but then ultimately you get to peak at the end of the season, and it's just like a great development and finale of your training. But when you train for a marathon, you're just putting in all this work the whole time with no checkpoints, and then you have the marathon at the end. And if it goes well, great. If it goes bad, then that sucks. You just did all that work for nothing. Some people will do like 10K or half marathon like tune-ups before their marathon, but the problem with that is A, half marathons are still pretty expensive, so that's a lot of money to put in for just a tune-up race. 10Ks aren't as bad, but that's only 6 miles versus 26, so I feel like that's not a very good gauge of where you're at either. So yeah, there's just like no real way to check yourself throughout your training, so that's rough. And then reason number 2, which I already kind of mentioned, is the fact that you're working towards this one final race, and then any tiny little thing can completely throw it off. Like, you could get sick race day weekend, or your brother could come and crack your rib. And even like on the day of the race, like you could not adjust your sleep schedule fast enough because you're like flying across the country to do this race. If you don't eat the right thing, you can cramp up or have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the race or something, I don't know. If you go out too fast, then you'll burn out, and then the second half of the race just sucks, and then you know you're not going to do well, so that's even more discouraging. Like, it's just all around a horrible thing. And then if any of those little things go wrong, some of which are just completely out of your control, then again, you've put in all this time, all this money, all this effort, and then it was just a bust at the end. Like, it's a huge gamble. It's like high risk, low reward, in my opinion. So then I have point 3, which isn't really a reason why I don't like marathons, but it's just, if I hate them so much, then why do I do them? This is going to be my 3rd marathon. And the answer is, I feel like as a runner, you're just kind of expected to run marathons. When you're a runner, the 2 things people always ask you is, what is your fastest mile time, and have you ever done a marathon? They don't even care about your marathon time. They just want to know if you've done one. So why I've done 3 marathons, the first one was completely because of that. It's people always ask you if you've done a marathon, so I was like, okay, I want to say yes to this question. So I did the Flying Pig Marathon. The first time I did it, I qualified for Boston, but I was like, wow, marathons suck. I don't want to do that again, so I didn't do Boston. But then I kept talking to people about marathons because that's what they always ask about, and so many people said I should have done Boston, it's a really cool experience, blah 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 blah. So I was like, okay, I should probably do Boston, but then by then I had to re-qualify, so I had to do the Flying Pig again to re-qualify for Boston, and now I'm doing Boston, and after this, I'm not doing another marathon for a long, long time. It's kind of like the thing, I know there's a word for it, but I can't think of it. It's when, like, people expect you to do certain things just because of a characteristic about you, and then because people expect you to do it, you just do it. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it's someone else's prophecy that you're fulfilling. I don't know. I feel like it's stupid. But anyways, those are all the reasons I don't like marathons and will not be doing another one after this. But to kind of honestly address the whole ribs situation, basically where I'm at now is it hurts to like sit up or lay down or stand up, like changing my position. It hurts to like reach or twist in weird positions, but once I'm standing up and moving around, it's not too bad in general. And then when I'm running, it hurts for maybe the first like 200 meters, but then I feel like my body's like, okay, we realize this hurts, but he's still running anyway, so we'll just kind of like put this in the background. So it's always there, but I think it's nothing serious enough that it's not going to get better by the time I run. So Jay, if you're watching this, don't feel guilty, don't feel bad. I do truly believe that in 2 weeks, I'll be healed up, ready to go for the marathon, and I'm going to kill it.
Nothing gonna break my stride.